Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Manufacturing Alliance podcast. In fairness, I'm slightly out of breath because with 1 minute to go, I remembered I did not have my RPS mug of water. Thank you, Richard Evans. Love you, buddy. And so Vanessa was panicking that I wasn't going to make it in time and she was going to have to do an introduction. But I made it, and now I can't breathe. So sorry for the terrible audio quality right now, but we're going to live. It's going to be fine. So I'm Tony Demakis. I get to be your host every week when we do this. This is a show for manufacturers, about manufacturers. We are not going to talk about statistics and graphs and numbers and things like that because there's enough resources like that. Mold making technology will do that. Plastics news will do that. We want to talk about the stories of the people and what actually goes into manufacturing, what the challenges are, what the successes are, and how you guys can capitalize on some of those examples and stories. For us, we are mold builders that don't build molds. And that means we do all the things that mold builders don't want to do. Laser welding, laser engraving, polishing, hot runner repair, preventative mold maintenance. And we also have a full line of laser welding and laser engraving equipment. But wait, there's more, right? We also have a full laser welding production line. So if you have production welding that you need done and you keep running into people saying we need minimum quantities and you're not up to that part yet, let us know. We're here to help. We want to help you grow through the project, through the process, and help you find success. So, man, that's us in a nutshell. Some big things coming up. This is my iWarrior shirt. We have a golf outing coming up in September. It's September 23rd. And all of the proceeds from that event will go to our friends at iWarriors. iWarriors is a great organization that gives iPads to combat wounded veterans. So what does that mean? Why do veterans need iPads? Seems like a silly thing, right? Wouldn't they rather have, anything else? No. Most of the veterans that are receiving these iPads have some form of PTSD. And so what is put on these iPads are specific softwares to help combat that, to help them work on brain strengthening and different things to help them get through those processes. The other thing it does is it allows our veterans to communicate back home with their loved ones in a way that only face-to-face works, right? So, that's what we're doing right now with Restream, with Zoom, with all that stuff. And the iPad allows them to do that. And the third thing it does is it just lets our veterans remember that they're remembered. And it lets them feel whole again, and it lets them feel important. And it's just a way for us to say thank you for all the sacrifices that they made. So if you'd like to participate in the golf outing, it's September 23rd. You can go to alliancelasersales.com/golf and sign up there. There are sponsorships available. There's golf available. There's you name it. You can sign up just for dinner. And the question is always, but I don't golf. We don't either. That's not what it's for. It's to raise money for a good cause. It's to network. It's to build relationships. And really, it's to say thank you. So I would say over the past 5 years that we've been doing this, I think we've had 20 scorecards come in total. Last year, I think we had 2. So it's not about the golf. It's about the community and making a difference for our veterans. So there's that. We have IMTS coming up. We hope you come see us at IMTS. I don't think we have a slide for that, but we do. Look at this. We have a slide. She is so prepared. IMTS is going to be in Chicago. It's going to be a really good time. We've got new equipment coming out. One of the 2 new laser engravers and a new laser welding system featuring a universal robot. It's freaking awesome. So we hope to see you there. Come by the booth. And we'll show you everything. And if you get there at the right time, we can go have lunch or go get a drink and have dinner later. So schedule your time. Come by around noon or towards the end of the day, and we'll figure that out. All right. That's enough about us. That's too much about us. I'm excited for today. This is a show that we've been trying to put together for probably 2 years. I've even got yelled at in the trade show booth for not reaching out to them soon enough. But Grace was just busy in the background putting it all together. So now after COVID, we finally have a chance to do this. And I'm super excited because we get to do this show with Tessy today, Tessy Plastics out in New York. I'm going to bring our friends in here.
Hey,
Good afternoon, boys.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Just over here rambling a little bit, trying to catch my breath, but it's fine. It's fine. I think Vanessa spends more time laughing at me than anything else. It's just hard for her to get her notes. She's just laughing. Um, no, I'm super glad that Eric and Mark, you guys are joining us. Tessy is obviously one of those companies that everybody wants to be associated with. I mean, you guys are a monster in the industry, and people know that name. And so I really appreciate you coming on, giving us a little bit of time, and sharing some of your expertise and knowledge and what's going on in your world. So, Eric, why don't you give us a little introduction to you and what you're doing over there?
Sure. Yeah. So first off, thanks for having us on. I appreciate you not calling me out specifically for being the guy that yelled at you in the trade show booth, but I guess I'll wrap myself out on that one. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. We're excited to be on. So I'm the director of sales for Tessys medical products business. I've been here about 4 years and specifically responsible for new business development opportunities within the Tessy organization.
Yeah, sorry about that. No, I was not going to throw you under the bus. That was not my intention. I just thought it was fun. We were over there, and the background is we were talking about doing the podcast, and you walked into the conversation, and you were like, "Yeah, when are you going to have us on there?"
That's
and I was
right,
like,
"Yeah,
what we're trying to do. That's the plan. That's what we're talking about." Yeah. And then I would say we got it done fairly quickly afterwards. It's only been
it was quick. Yeah,
9 weeks, I think, since we talked at MD&M West. That was at MD&M West.
Yep.
And it's super good to have you on, and I'm excited to dig into all of that. And Mark, give us your lowdown.
Okay, I'm the director of R&D here at Tessy Plastics. I've been with Tessy about 13 years. My group focuses on new processes and technologies to help basically support our customers. We do get a little bit into product design and verification also.
Yeah, you guys are always having your hands full in a lot of different things, and we talked a little bit offline about the Tessy booth and how it is definitely an attention getter for a number of reasons. But one of the things that I thought was really cool at the MD&M West show was that half table that you guys had set up that had the examples of all the parts laid out in this awesome. It was basically just an art piece of plastic, and it was so cool to see all the different areas of industry that you touch and what that looks like.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty unique booth. We actually just launched it a little over a year ago now. I think we've had it on the trade show circuit. Excuse me, but yeah, it's a unique way to kind of draw people into the booth. Oftentimes people think Tessy and Tessy Plastics and think that we're just a contract injection molder, but we're certainly much more than that. Especially in the recent years, we've focused on the downstream, assembly processes and those post-molding processes, as we've called it. So we're really expanding our overall capabilities and obviously trying to highlight some of those products that we have at the trade show booth.
Yeah, and like I was saying before, you go by the Tessy booth, to my knowledge, has never been empty. Every time I go by there's somebody there. You got to wait in a little bit of a line to talk to people. And it just speaks to the kind of quality that you guys put out in as far as products and the reputation that you have. How much of that has to do with the R&D that goes into your products, Mark?
Well, I think it's us mating up with the customers and finding out what their needs are and listening to them of where we can help them. And I think we form good partnerships with all our customers.
Yeah, and that's part of what Tessy is, right? Like at the core of Tessy, when you look at the core values, that's part of who you guys are as a company and as an industry. And I know that some of those tenets of values are people, technology, quality, and sustainability. So, real quick, what is the people aspect of that?
Okay, I think we form a good team internally. and externally. We combine our efforts. I think we look for input from all our people. Anybody has an idea is more than welcome to bring it in. I think we focus a lot on training our basically our employees to grow them as they're here for many years. And that just helps the team be stronger.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So going down the line, then the technology is the next part of your values. And where does that come into play?
Okay. Our group focuses on right now a lot of rapid prototyping. That helps our customers get their designs verified quickly so they can eventually get to production. We use whatever the latest technologies are out there. We're invested heavily in 3D printing, rapid prototyping to get them their components so they can start testing them in their environment. And I think that's a big one. Some of the other areas we've been investing in lately is LSR development. So it's been like a 3-year journey for us of investing in the people's training here at Tessy, the equipment, and then actually practicing it before we actually go to production. And I think we've got good examples where that's materialized into helping several customers. So
yeah, I think it's a testament to how we develop programs, and LSR Mark just mentioned as an example, but really the R&D department is kind of the initial, brainchild of where these things come from, right? So before we put anything, new technology wise on our floor, we do the proof of principles in the R&D facility, right? So it's Mark's team and the people in that lab doing the upfront development to get us to where we feel comfortable transitioning those processes from the R&D lab onto the production floors. And that's where, Mark's, again, comment of partnering with our customers, right? So we've partnered with customers on, upfront material analysis, environmental chamber testing and aging tests, really anything from design development to in between. And back in 2019, becoming even more vertically integrated by, now owning our own tool shop and our own, automation house with Tessy Automation and Tessy Tooling, really handling that end-to-end process. So developing the product, right? And then taking those and applying them to, the tooling and automation, and then obviously transitioning to what we do best, and that's manufacturing products for our customers.
Yeah, and that just, again, it goes along with what I was saying about Tessy being, at the forefront of so many different things. You guys are not just this, right? You've expanded so that you can bring all of those qualities into your customers. And I would be remiss if I didn't say I have a newfound love for R&D since realizing that the R&D tax credit is a thing. That is awesome, and I credit Mike Devereaux and the Whipley guys for helping us figure out what that is and working with us to not only help us realize that all that time we're spending was worth money, but helping us to get that money back so that we can continue to do more things for our customers. So, if you're a mold maker or a molder or someone in industry and you're spending all this time developing products or procedures or whatever, you should look up Mike Devereaux on LinkedIn, and you should reach out to him and say, help us, because not only is he brilliant. I don't get paid for this, and he doesn't sponsor the show, but maybe he should. Not only is he brilliant, but he's a flashy dresser, and he is always out hanging out with us and having a lot of fun. So you won't be disappointed. He helped us save money, and I've heard nothing but good things from everybody that's worked with Mike and his team. So that's my small shout out.
Nice,
Richard.
Yeah.
Richard Evans is watching us on LinkedIn, and he says the golf outing is always a great time for a great cause. Highly recommend you attend. Dude, I agree with you 100%.
All right.
So I'm going to be there. So the next part of the values of Tessy is quality. Now, how do you guys differentiate that? Because every business strives for quality, right? I don't know many companies where they would say, let's just give piss poor quality. Let's just, kind of do a good job. In order for that to be one of your building blocks of success, how much emphasis goes into that word?
Yes, it's definitely, being one of our pillars. It's a culture thing, right? And one of the things that we certainly drive home especially on the medical side of the business, is where the products go, right? So ultimately, the products that we manufacture in our facilities, we have customer names and we work with those companies, but ultimately the end customer is the patients. So it's driving that mentality throughout the organization, because it only takes one for it to not be right. So certainly the stakes of the game that we're playing are extremely high. So that's the mentality that we continuously drive down through the organization to make sure that quality is at the forefront of every single program that we work on, and how we manufacture those processes. And I know it goes into the upfront development of that product before it even hits your production floor. So
I think a lot of times we're actually doing extra inspections throughout our assembly and molding processes to ensure we're striving for that zero defects getting out in the field.
Well, it's important, right? Because it's not like you guys are building Matchbox cars. This is medical equipment, and it's somebody's life if you make a mistake in this area. We have a job right now in our production facility, production welding facility. It's a medical manufacturer, and we're constantly stressing how much quality matters, because you don't know if you're going to be the person in the hospital or your loved one is. One of our guys here, his wife a while back had a stroke, and while he was in the room with her, he was noticing that there were certain parts in the room that we had a hand in working on and the repairs. And he was specifically running the job that worked on the repair for some of the stuff that she needed. And it really it brought it home. It made it personal that the stuff we do really does matter, and it really does make a difference. And it has to be right. There's no like, you bring the pizza back because it's got, green peppers instead of green onions. You get one shot at somebody's health, and it's really, really important that you get that right. And so I think all those extra measures matter.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, I think every employee at Tessy takes pride in the quality that we do. And I like going to the doctor's office and going, "Oh, we make that."
Yeah. And it makes that difference, because you know what you're doing, the purpose behind it, right? It's not just, like I said, it's not just some little, it's not something that doesn't matter. It matters, and it matters in big ways. And then that last one, sustainability, that's something that we've had quite a few shows on and guests on, talking about sustainability and the challenges that really wrap around that concept of sustainability. I mean, it's easy for people to say it, but what is sustainability when it comes to the Tessy model?
Yeah, so when it comes to Tessy, we start with, we've got a Tessy TP3 program. So it's the people, the planet, and the products. So we want to make sure, obviously, we're doing everything that we can, from an EHS perspective to protect the people that are working throughout our facilities. We want to make sure that, the impact that our manufacturing operation has on the planet is as minimal as it possibly can be. And then the products that we manufacture are as sustainable as we can make them relative to our customer specifications. So it really is ingrained in our culture, and we've been recognized by CDP. I think this is our 4th year now being a member of their A list in some capacity. So we're extremely proud of the upfront effort that we've put into it. But it's a small step in the right direction, right? And what we're doing is continuing to push ourselves even further to try to improve on all of the sustainability efforts that we're currently pushing. So it's certainly been a success story, but obviously nothing we want to get complacent on.
Maybe to complement that, in R&D, we can tie it together. We're looking at new materials. One way is we're using post-consumer resins. You have to work with the customer on how we bring that in. Sometimes they don't process the same, different shrink factors, and the supply chain of how to bring it in smoothly without interrupting the supply. Another big one we work on is bioresins. It's basically the resin will degrade when it's exposed to water or earth, whether it be like 3 months or a year. Those are interesting to work with, all new process parameters also for that, but it's also in limited supply. So we have to offer it when it makes sense to a customer. So
Is it difficult to get customers to buy into those products and those materials that are maybe a little bit new to market and they don't know how it's going to react? How much of that is show? I mean, obviously, you have to show them. How difficult is that conversation with customers?
I think initially they're very interested. Everybody's conscious of how they can help. It's making sure their product still performs exactly as it does today. So, and that's where the journey can take a year, 2 years, whatever it ends up being, to make that improvement. So,
yeah, and then
go ahead. I'm sorry, Eric.
No, and then on the medical side, right? So as we talk about the biodegradable resins and PCRs, right? That's more, I'd say, consumer focused for sure. On the medical side, I think what we're doing, obviously, we're looking at scrap reduction and making sure that the scrap that we do make doesn't go to a landfill, and we divert all of our I'll call it manufacturing scrap out outside of the landfill to other processors that can use that material. But then we look at the supply chain as a whole, and things that we've done internally from a sustainability effort is taking on more of these operations in house to limit the amount of downstream activity that happens outside of our door. So if we've got to take a product and ship it to another party to finish it in another location, and then they've got to ship it to a warehouse and then ultimately to the customer, by us being able to take the upfront injection molding, expanding our capabilities obviously to do the assembly of that product. If there's a filling, a welding operation, any packaging, and then sterilization management, all of those things are opportunities for us to take those in-house, manage that process, eliminate the need to continue to truck it around the country and potentially the globe, and then ship it direct to the customer's DCs or the patients directly. So.
Yeah, which is great for so many reasons, right? I mean, you're eliminating the need for all those transportation costs and that extra energy use, but you're also minimizing the risk that the customer has with their product, whether that's the mold or the molded material or whatever that is. It's one stop. It's one facility. I mean, you have all the responsibility on your shoulders to be able to deliver that and kind of eliminate some risk for the end user.
Yeah, and it's part of how we stay competitive too. So obviously we're competing on a global scale, but we're manufacturing in upstate New York. So by continuously improving and leveraging our R&D and our engineering team's capabilities and transitioning all of these new processes to the floor, expanding our capabilities, adding new pieces of automation, and obviously coming up with creative ideas of manufacturing product, that's how we're able to stay competitive and continue to manufacture in upstate New York.
Yeah, no, I think all of that is awesome. So I'm gonna throw a curveball here.
All right.
I want you guys can decide. Pick a number between 1 and 6.
Go for it.
7.
So, okay. Well, listen, I was prepared for that. You asked for it. If animals could talk, what would be the rudest and why?
If animals could talk, what would be the rudest and why?
You should have stuck with 1 through 6.
Yeah, should have. Cats, I feel like. I feel like cats would be rude.
And why do you say that?
I don't know. The cat. I feel like I'm a dog person. Yeah. You get home, your dog runs up to you. Your dog's always excited to see you. A cat, it doesn't. I don't know. I've never had one personally, but I feel like anytime I've ever been around a cat, they just kind of do their own thing, and they're on their own a little bit.
Yeah. Mark, thoughts?
Yeah, I would agree. Cats tend to ignore you. So they are.
So we have asked that question so many times, and cat is easily the number one answer. I don't know why cats are household pets. Nobody likes them. And I don't have one. I don't have a dog either, but I definitely wouldn't have a cat. I just think that they're awful animals. I mean, you train them to poop in the house, and then I just don't get it.
I've never been a big cat person, but I don't know about that. I feel bad saying that they're the worst animal, but no.
Okay, maybe not the worst.
I'm not a cat person either.
All right. Now, would you guys like to try again with 1 through 6?
Yeah, let's go 3.
3. Okay. What is an upcoming life event that you're excited about?
Ooh, you got one?
vacation maybe the next year.
Yeah, where
or
you
so.
going? Where you going?
Well, first going to Vegas, and then
Okay.
a few weeks later going to Nashville. Just trying to explore out, see some new cities, have a little fun.
Awesome.
Nice. Upcoming life event.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm my daughter is going to be 1 coming up, and my son is going to be 2. So I'm looking forward to their first and second birthdays. So yeah, it's being a dad is pretty awesome. Pretty new to the dad life, but I'm having an awesome time with it.
It's fun. My son is 16 and driving now. My daughter just turned 13. It's a thing, man. I had this is here's story my story time. Sorry, everybody. This is therapy time with Tony. I actually laid in bed the other night and I had a small little cry to myself, just a little tear, not like a sobbing cry, because every night my daughter and I will just lay in bed together and we'll talk for an hour. And my wife comes upstairs and she gets really annoyed and she's like, they got to go to bed. You got to stop. Just stop talking. It can't be that important. Do it tomorrow. We just kind of laugh at her and keep talking. And then I had a hernia surgery. I couldn't go up the ladder in the loft bed, so we stopped. And now she's 13, and I was like, "Oh man, is it weird for a grown man to lay in bed with his 13-year-old daughter?" And so we both decided that we're going to have to change our routine and do that on the just talk on the couch. But it was like a part of my life that I'm not going to have anymore, and it was like that. That it kind of sucked. So. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. That's my way of saying, I guess, embrace those 1 and 2 up to 13 and do all of that you can, because man, when you don't realize that time is ending, and when it does, it sucks.
Yeah, it's all we're going through all the first right now, right? First time going over, first time trying real food, right? First words, all those. It's all all little things that you're going to keep with you for the rest of your life. So it's been a cool experience. And I know you got 3 daughters, right?
Yeah, so I'm on the other spectrum. I'm now an empty nester. All 3 daughters have moved out of the house.
How old are they?
Yeah. 26, 22, and 20. So.
All right. You got grandkids?
No.
No grandkids yet. All right.
Yeah, looking forward to it, but I'm not rushing anything. No pressure.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's awesome. I mean, all those different life stages they're so awesome. And you sometimes you wish that you were through one of them until you get through it. And then you look back and you're like, man, I wish I was still in that season. That's good. I don't want to change diapers anymore. But that in between is really good.
Yeah.
Quick note. There are multiple people watching. If you're watching, do me a favor, put your name and your company in the chat so that we can give your company some recognition. This is a crazy world where everybody is trying to get more recognition for their companies, for their brands, and for what they do. And the reason we do this show live is so that we can have engaging conversation with our audience. So if there's something that you want to ask, there's something that you want to comment, go ahead, put that in the chat. And if nothing else, let us know you're there and give us your company name. Steve Hack came on and said he is getting his golf outing foursome all signed up. Steve Hack from Prodigy. They just did an awesome tour with the emerging leaders last week. So good shop out in Indiana. And Steve's an awesome guy. He's getting married. Is it this weekend? I think it's this weekend. I should know because I'm going. But yeah, congratulations, Steve. So what are some upcoming challenges that you guys are seeing down the pipeline, whether that's, supply chain or, the one that everybody has is finding people, right? What is Tessy doing to overcome some of those? But I guess first, what are some of the issues and challenges you guys are seeing?
Well, I mean, you hit the 2, pretty much right out of the gate. So the first one is the supply chain challenges that everybody is obviously continuing to see. So whether it's on the raw material side, the electronic component side, or on the automation side, even in our automation arm, they're seeing long lead times for robots and PLCs and all sorts of things that go into building those systems as well. So all of those challenges are present here at Tessy, but we've done a pretty good job of weathering that storm. Whether it was through COVID, through the pandemic, through hurricane season, we actually maintained our 99 point, I think it's 8 on-time delivery rate. So
Nice.
pretty impressed by how we've been able to do that. We're unique in how we operate. I know just in time is a big thing right now, but we're actually maybe a little bit more on the other end of that spectrum, and holding strategic inventories for our customers to support them through those, what we know is potentially going to happen. Hurricane season, down in Texas is never easy, right? So
it's real. You got to prepare for it.
Happens every year. We know when it's coming, right? So
yeah.
We're doing creative things like that to help support our customers, through all facets. And it also leads into the quality too, right? So any issues that we, potentially see in our manufacturing operation, right? We know we've got the inventory needed to help continuously ship product to our customers as they're able to work through some of those challenges on the back end.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's amazing, right? We're talking about the hurricane season. What happens every year, or there's a potential for it every year. How many companies are there out there that just say, well, we can't deliver, there was a hurricane? Well, listen, that's going to happen. It's inevitable at this point. So what are you doing as a company to prevent that from happening? There's that quality, right? There's that relationship with customer. There's that trying to actually make a difference and be different, because you're planning ahead for it and saying, okay, this is a reality that could happen. What are we going to do to fix it? We were affected by it last year. Let's make sure that we don't get affected by it this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Certainly.
And I think that's part of, Mark, you were talking earlier about continuous improvement. That's one of those areas.
Yeah. You got to stay at the forefront, address those issues, even on the supply chain issues we are seeing. We're trying to figure out, hey, should we carry strategic inventory on the automation side? So we're not that person saying, hey, we can't deliver in a timely manner. So I think probably for us, our challenges right now are Tessy is doing very well right now. We got a lot of customers coming to us with their challenges, and it's keeping up with all of them. And my thing now is finding resources and adding people strategically to support everything that's going on. It's a good problem to have right now.
When you say adding people strategically, what does that look like?
Okay, so in R&D, I need to look at what the new products that are coming in, new customers, and what skill sets do I need to complement my own team. I'm trying to build, right now I have about 7 direct engineers that work for me. Okay. I might add somebody who might have skills that some of my team doesn't have to make it stronger and for Tessy overall. I may also add a resource wherever we are thin, let's say. So
it's like that Moneyball scenario, right? The movie Moneyball. You look for what you need and then you fill in the gaps.
Yep.
I'd like to equate running a company as the same thing as managing a team, whether it's a baseball team or a hockey team or whatever, and what that looks like finding the right coach and juggling the lines and making sure that people are where they need to be, and what do we need, what position do we need to fill. And lately what I've been thinking a lot about is how, you can't build championship teams off of just buying them, right? Very few teams succeed by just buying championship teams. You have to bring in the rookies, and you have to teach them, and you have to train them, and you have to teach them your way for success, and put a lot of coaching and effort into it. And then they become the core of what you have as a company. Luckily for us, I have a good example with the Blackhawks. They had a great core for a long time. Lately, they're not good. So we can pretend, we can go back a few years, but I'm not happy with anything they did from, like the video coach and all that stuff, whatever. But right now they're in a bad spot, and they got to rebuild. They got to look at starting to bring more young people in and developing that core again. How important is that young demographic, that new core to Tessy?
Yeah, it's extremely important. And the succession planning that goes along with that, as you mentioned. So, obviously the Tessy culture, as Mark alluded to earlier, it's a pretty, I'll say, flat organization from a hierarchy perspective. So we don't have too many layers of management, and it's definitely a place where, any one person, regardless of who it is, always feels comfortable, bringing up those ideas for continuous improvement or bringing up their thoughts and opinions on how, we can improve as a company as well. So one thing that's great is Roland, the, current owner, and his father, Henry, founded the company. Actually, we're going to be celebrating our 50th anniversary next year.
Nice. Congratulations.
So, yeah, thank you very much. So Roland is the second generation. It's a family-owned operation. And he really tries to, even though we continue to get bigger, Roland tries to keep that small family business feel. So he'll go around once a month, all plants, all shifts, and shake every single employee's hand. So he wants to understand, real time what's happening throughout the operation. And we always joke as Roland does his rounds, he comes back and that's when the actions start, right? So we get the feedback and we embrace that culture throughout, and it's really something unique and a part of, it's a part of our company that I haven't seen elsewhere.
How many people are in the Tessy organization?
So total, we've got around on average like 15 to 1,600 globally.
Wow.
We have about 1,000 to 1,200 here in upstate New York alone.
That's a lot of handshaking.
Yeah, it is. It really is. So, obviously, I think during the pandemic, he struggled, right? Obviously, not being able to do it too much. But
it was elbows. Everybody was giving the
football.
right,
exactly. So, but now that we're certainly back open, and back to normal business practices, he's started those back up, and it's an awesome thing that happens within Tessy.
Yeah. So what is it that is unique, right? So I'm reading a book right now by Craig Groeschel. It's called Lead Like It Matters. Tessy is one of those organizations. To me, I've never been there. I've never been to the facility. But even from like I said, being at the trade show booth or being around you guys or hearing it or seeing social media, Tessy to me is an organization that has it. It's recognized. How do you guys define it? What makes Tessy have it?
I think one thing that makes it unique is we reinvest in the employees. My team, I try and offer them any training they want to have. Unique here, we have an apprenticeship program for the mold process technicians. And so I've never turned down any of my people, and I think that goes across the company. And then that just helps them be better and the whole team be better. I even send some of my guys to trade technology shows worldwide. They bring that technology back, and then they share it with the rest of the team. I think that's a culture that's pretty unique here.
Yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
No, I was to expand on it as well. I think, we certainly, we always want to do, what's right for the company, and then obviously what's right for our customers as well. And it's in expanding on that kind of culture that, oftentimes if we go and present ideas, or if we've got a new technology that we want to look and invest in, or if we've got a new strategy, the answer typically isn't a yes or no that we get. It's, if it were your company, what would you do?
Oh, and that's good.
And if you feel passionately about something and you feel strong enough about it to bring it, to the leaders of the organization, oftentimes those are the how we're getting these, challenges solved, and these unique ideas, and kind of the out of the box approach to how we solve the manufacturing challenges of today.
I'm guessing they don't ask. This is not a knock on Tessy. I'm guessing they don't ask that question when it's time for reviews and raises, though.
This
is your company. Would you give me a raise? Yeah. No, I'm joking. I kid. No, I was asking because I had a younger guy yesterday. I was sitting in my office, and he came in and he sat down and he said, "How do I become a motivator here in the shop? How do I do that?" And to me, initially, it's a difficult question to answer, because I think different people are going to do that and come about it in different ways. How do you guys do that? And what I try to explain is, you can't motivate somebody. Motivating is like, here's a carrot in front of the horse, right? Come get the carrot. I think it's more about being inspired than motivated. How do you guys continue to inspire your team, your customers, and even the community to embrace the Tessy way of doing things?
I think Eric was hitting on that. We do try and find the most unique solution to a customer's problem. We'll go out of our way to look at their product as it is today, but then how would we design it so there were less materials in it, less components, and try and solve the problem the best way we can. And I think that's what separates us when we bring those ideas to the customers.
Yeah, taking the ideas and running with them, right? So if you've got, people consistently saying, "Hey, this is a good idea. This is a good idea," and no, right? That's not how that works, right? So certainly embracing, the foundation of, good ideas, creative solutions, and then implementation of those.
Yeah.
And it's, that's how, you continue to keep people excited about the work that we're doing here. And then obviously we talked about before of driving that messaging of the end user. So I think we feel a pride in the products that we manufacture, knowing that, we're putting things into the market that are enriching and helping people's lives. So we're certainly proud of, the products that we manufacture and the way that we manufacture them.
And I think all of that is definitely spot on. It is that pride and that sense of unity within a common goal, right? Like everybody's rowing in the same direction. We all want the same thing, and you can feel that. I think to me that's part of that it mentality of like, we know what our it is, and we're all going to be on board to do this. I was telling this guy that, part of it is like you have to care about the person that's next to you. You have to know who they are, like your owner walking around shaking everybody's hand and making sure that he knows their story as often as he can. That's a huge part of being able to inspire people. You can't inspire them if you don't know them. I was telling him, if you go back and you watch Braveheart, William Wallace knew everybody he was going to battle with. And he wasn't sitting there going, "Hey guys, I'm gonna sit back here. You guys charge, and good luck. I'll have some brisket ready for you when you're done." He was inspiring and leading the way with his attitude, with his mentality, and they believed what he believed, and he was able to communicate that. And I think that's not something that just the higher up people can do. Anybody can do that. It's with their hard work and with the way that they communicate with the people around them. People feed off of that energy. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And again, you guys, I go to the trade show booth and I take pictures every year. Not that I can afford to build that booth because it's awesome. But it inspires me to go, what can we do to have more of that? That's a good look. How do we work more with Tessy? What does that look like? Because it has that air of success, that look of success that, you want to portray. Sometimes you go to the MD&M West of the world, or the NPE is coming up, or IMTS is coming up, and you look at one booth, and then you look at another booth, and you're like, okay, well, given the choice, I don't know anything about either company. I'm going to go with this company because they take quality in who they are and who they say they are and what their brand is, versus, these guys maybe have a wrinkled bed sheet that they threw over the table. The parts kind of look nice, but I'm not even going to stop and look at them because their business cards are printed out of a Xerox printer. I can see the perforation on the edge, and maybe they don't pay attention to detail, but all of those little things matter when it comes to like inspiring that idea of success to your clients and your customers.
Yeah. Also, it's big, bright orange too, so you can't miss it on the trade show floor. So
you really can't miss it. No,
yeah.
It's got like a dome. It's awesome.
Yeah, and we've talked about it at the booth before, but it's we've tried to design it in a way that it's inviting without giving too much away from the outside. So you see it catches your eye, right? You can quickly maybe understand what we do, but you're almost funneled into the booth to really get the full experience of what we have to offer, and certainly understand what it is that we do. And like I said before, it's much more than just standard plastic injection molding. It's all the downstream activities of assembly, all the post molding processes, filling, diagnostic solutions, right? So it's all turnkey, and then obviously the mold manufacturing and the automation, design and build.
And I'm laughing. Grace even challenges my team. She goes, "I need to create something unique for the booth." comes up with a concept, and my guys go, "Oh my God, how are we going to make this?" And they pull it off with her persistence with us. So it covers
Grace has persistence.
Yes.
Grace is our awesome marketing specialist here at Tessy, so we can give Grace a nice shout out.
Yeah, she does an awesome job. I mean, the branding and everything is spot on. I'll make her blush a little bit. I tell her every time I see her that I love the marketing and the branding and everything, and that's my baby. That's where I come from. So I really appreciate how all of that is done and the color scheme and how it carries through on everything. And you guys are all matchy at the trade show. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, she does an awesome job. She's had
It is on point.
challenge too, especially over the past few years, trying to rebrand. Now just going by Tessy and then integrating obviously 2 new companies into that family as well. So,
marketing doesn't get enough credit. It's like the forgotten stepchild of business, and everybody wants an ROI on it, and it's hard to give an ROI, but when it's not there, and then you miss it, and you're like, oh wow, I think we need to amp up our marketing a little bit more. Nobody knows who we are anymore. So what are some of the industry trends that you guys are seeing? Let's see. We lost him for a hot second. All right.
Hey, there we go.
You guys hung up on me. I didn't realize I was that offensive. I talked about Grace too much and she hung up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yes.
I apologize. I told you I wouldn't do it and I did it. I'm sorry. No, I was just asking, you guys seem to be, with Mark being in charge of R&D, what is coming? What are you guys seeing as the industry trends and the next things that people are going to be seeing out there?
In the R&D world, some of the new stuff we're working on is conductive materials in our plastics. People are trying to get electronics more into their products. So we've been investing in that and prototyping and learning about that. We basically look at investing in the mold technologies to see better ways to give feedback to the molding process, just to continuously improve what we do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, from a customer perspective, things that we're certainly seeing. We hit on it earlier. LSR continues to be big, especially in the medical space. Diagnostic solutions. Systems that are designed to get. Can you still hear us?
Yeah, we got you back.
Awesome.
It's the joys of a live show.
I guess so. Yeah. Yep. So I said, did you hear the LSR?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. And then the diagnostic solutions and then point of care systems from a diagnostic perspective. So getting, more real-time feedback and helping customers with devices that are, supporting their inventions and innovations in that space. And then, obviously you can see that pretty much every major medical customer is launching their own version of a surgical robot. Yep. So that only leads more to what Mark was saying is the smart devices and the connected devices. So what we're doing is trying to figure out how do we integrate obviously the injection molding and the plastic solution, the automated. In bringing all 3 of those together.
Got it. Eric, are you finding that people are now opening their doors again? Are you able to get out and do more face-to-face meetings with people and actually visit them and develop based on what you're seeing and what they need?
I am, and actually it's so we are and we've been traveling to customers. But what I've actually been finding more and is awesome for us is people wanting to come see us and see our manufacturing.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
So that's when. So if and obviously Tony, you said you haven't been here before. We'd love to host you for a visit so you can get a real time view as to some of the things that we're talking about here today. But being able to see what we do in person and then how what we say is really what we put into practice. That is something that.
You guys keep freezing up a little bit, so I apologize if I don't answer you right away.
No,
Yeah,
no worries.
I definitely want to get that scheduled and come out and visit. I mean, I think I've been to New York once. I went and saw the Westminster Crew a few times. I'm due to go out there for a visit too. I mean, COVID killed us, and I need to go see Hillary and the baby and everybody else, and hang out and spend time with them. But yeah, it's a good thing when things open up. My favorite thing is giving tours of our facility, and it's not, it's not as large as Tessy, but when people come in, it's very easy for me to have a sense of pride in the team that we have here and the work that we do. And I think a lot of times our organization takes for granted what they do, and it takes somebody from the outside coming in and like a little bit of amazement when they meet the different people, the different leads, and the different people doing the work. They get a new sense of purpose when other people kind of light up to what we're able to do and accomplish. And it's like such an I know I don't need more energy, but it's like such an energizer for me to bring people in here and show them what we do, because I get to brag a little bit about our team and the company that my father built, and it's really exciting for me. So likewise, if you guys are in Chicago, offers extended, come on in whenever you can. That would be awesome. So this is about the time where we ask for prayer requests. There are still some people on the show watching and listening. We always do prayer at the end of the show because I believe it's one of the most important things that you can do. When you're looking for help, to me, there's only one place that you can really get it. And whether you believe in that or not, that's up to you. So if you have any prayer requests, go ahead and put that in the chat, and we will get to those. Do you guys have any prayer requests that you would like me to mention?
I don't, Mark.
No.
Man, so that's a dangerous thing. So our pastor at church, he says, if you ask people if they have any prayer requests and they say no, it means their life is too good and you need to pray for their suffering. I'm not going to pray for your suffering because I think that's just mean. My wife kept doing that for a little while, and then like I almost broke my leg, and then I had a hernia, then I had a UTI, and I said, if you pray for suffering one more time, help me God, we're going to have problems, because it's bouncing off of you and it's sticking to me, and I don't like it. But no, it's good. Do you guys have anything else that you want to cover before we get into that?
No, I appreciate you having us on. As you said, it's a long time in the making, but certainly appreciate you taking the time to talk to us and learn a little bit more about what Tessy does, and for those people watching now and hopefully later, feel free to reach out to Mark or I, and we look forward to hosting some people at Tessy so we can show you what we do.
Yeah, and before we go, what kind of work are you guys currently looking for? I know there's a lot of companies that are super busy. Some of them are being really selective in the kind of work that they're taking on. Right now, what is the perfect company for you? Who are you looking to help, and where can people find value, and that would be a good match?
Okay. From my standpoint, it'd be anybody that's looking to launch a new product and needs the prototyping help to get through that stage of working through the bugs so that it is ready for market. Trying to think anybody else that's having like a major problem with their current product, bring it to us. We'd love to take on the challenge and see if we could solve it and make their lives better.
And that's from consumer goods all the way up through medical manufacturing. Is there a size of tooling that you guys try to stay within?
I mean, we've got a wide variety of presses. So we've got presses that range from 3 tons all the way up to 720 tons. So we've got all types of molding from micro to stacks, cubes, 2-shot, and cavitations that range from 1 to a cube at 164 faces or 164 sides. So wide variety of product applications. And that's why the benefit of having the 6 plants in upstate New York and then the 3 additional facilities in Webster, because we have the ability to specialize in certain areas and have expertise in different areas of our business.
Yeah. So, I'll speak for you, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. The person that you're not looking for as a customer is somebody that's going to nickel and dime everything and try and find the cheapest mold possible and the cheapest product possible.
Yeah, that's fair, right? And we're looking to drive that continuous improvement and continuous value, right? So to Mark's point, you've got a challenge, right? You need to figure out how to make it. Optimizing that process obviously certainly comes with, to your point, the upfront investment and the costs associated with that. But the long-term benefits of working with someone like us certainly pay dividends throughout the manufacturing life cycle.
Yeah, honestly, I don't say that as a way of being mean to anybody. I just think we look at it the same way, right? We want to work with people that believe what we believe, and we believe that the quality matters. And so we want to do what we know is right for the customer and for the customer's customer, and not just try and shave off some pennies here and there. So, we want to work with those people that value those same things. And some people aren't. Some people just want to get everything in. And I think that's the difference between like a Tessy and somebody else, is making sure like those values of quality and the other core values and the pillars that we talked about are in alignment and match. So, I think we'll put ways to contact you guys in our show notes. And I know you're both on LinkedIn and probably fielding questions from people all the time, and happy to reach out to people when they write stuff in there. So I don't see any requests. So I'm going to do a quick prayer for us, and then we'll wrap up and get out of here. So Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to talk with Mark and for talking with Eric. Thank you for the way that they can continue to conduct themselves, and the way that Tessy makes a difference for its customers and its customers' customers and the patients at hospitals, and the way that they can care. And so we just ask that you would continue to watch over us, that you would keep us safe, that you would bless Steve's upcoming wedding next Friday, and that you would keep us healthy and able to keep coming back and doing this week after week after week. And we give you all the glory, and it's in Jesus' name. Guys, thank you for finally getting on and doing this. Grace, thank you for all your hard work behind the scenes to set it up. I heard rumor that next year you will join us, and maybe we just have to do a whole marketing edition of the Manufacturing Alliance and just talk about the importance of marketing, and then you can't get off of that. So that would be good. But Eric, Mark, thank you guys for joining us, for all the stuff you do, for the passion that you put into the industry, and for continuing to make an impact on the difference in the lives of your customers and your clients and everybody else. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Tony.
All right, guys, we'll talk soon.
Yep.
Bye.
All right, everybody, that was Mark and Eric from Tessy out in New York. It's such a good company. They're so much fun to talk to. They're so much fun to see at the trade show. I encourage you to go see them at MD&M West or wherever they're going to be next. I think that's where they said that they're going to be, and then NPE coming up. But awesome company to do work with. I want to encourage you to come out to our golf outing. It's coming up quick. It's September 23rd. We are capping out the golf at 144 spots this year. We made that decision because last year it was just way too many. We have already passed the halfway point of registration. This is not a pressure play. If you have not gotten in, you should do that soon, because we are going to run out of spots. We know that for a fact. So go ahead and register, alliancelasersales.com/golf. It's super easy to do. And if you have any questions, Vanessa can help walk you through that. That's not a big deal. On top of that, if you or someone you know would like to be a guest on the Manufacturing Alliance podcast, we would love to have you and tell your story. My friend Allison Van Hooser says it's all about the story. You have to know people's story. The story matters. And everybody has a story that matters and can make a difference in other people's lives, and people can learn from it. So we would love for you to join us and be on the show. And you can just send me an email at tony@alliancelasersales.com, and we can get that set up and in place. And other than that, I think we're done. Are we done? We're done here. All right. On behalf of myself and Alliance and Eric and Mark and Tessy and iWarriors and everybody else, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Take care, and God bless.